Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Another day, pretty worn from camp this morning. Let me get my view right up in here. Worn, man. That heat always take its toll. Fresh out the shower. Um, but I want to give y'all a live update on what really happened in camp today. I'm not streaming on StreamYards. I'm going directly through YouTube right now. So it takes some time for the stuff to come out. So I'm going to wait about 2 minutes before I start going into it. Hit the like button on your way in the building. Hopefully they send the notifications out, but punch the like button on your way in the building. Flipside Fishing is the first one commented. He is in the building, and Flipside Fishing was at practice today. And I'm probably going to use his name a lot. I'm going to use his name. Duncan Robinson says he was there and Tua was bad. I was there. All right, well, you know what? Flipside was there. Duncan Robinson was there. We're going to talk about it because I've already been attacked like no other. People inboxing me on Twitter saying I'm a liar. I'm just trying to hate on Tua because of the day that he had and this and that. When I was just I'm just trying to be honest about his day, and I'm not even taking his day that serious. I'm not taking what I saw today as a end all be and as an indictment or as a conclusion. It's just the day he gave us, and all I do is report it. To Friday, he could ball the heck out, you know. Nobody's freaking perfect. Tom Brady has bad days. Nobody's perfect, but don't kill me just from letting y'all know what happened. That's it. I'm not going to lie and just try to make it seem like it's all roses and stuff. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm trying my best to even lean into even more of support of him because I want him to be the guy. And there's things that I saw the last 2 days from him that gives me hope to where maybe I can believe in his ceiling. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just have to, as a fan, take it one day at a time and then continue to evaluate him the best way that I can. But we're going to talk about it. I'm going to be honest. Somebody said, TD, are you taking into consideration what he said in the press conference? I heard some quotes of what he said, but if you want to be more detailed on what he said in the press conference that would allude to why the performance was average at best today, you know, so maybe you can help me out. You know that Brady tampering was bothering. I just don't buy into it. I don't like that being the case. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm not into the excuses anymore of what could be bothering him. At the end of the day, he's our quarterback. And no matter what outside distractions there are, you got to get the job done, man. Shout out to Andres with the donation. Said, TD, if you had the option, would you swap Tua with Trey Lance? I don't know much about Trey Lance. I haven't seen enough for me to give you an honest answer. But again, it's going to be hard for me to make that decision. Like right now, mentally, I'm with Tua, and he's our guy. And like, of course, if you tell me somebody who done already had some years in this league and I looked at, maybe I can give you an answer, but I ain't seen Trey Lance do nothing in this league yet, you know? So, no. The answer, I guess, is no. So, I'd rather ride with Tua right now. I saw some good things the last 2 days. Today, not so, but it happens. And that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, even though I'm going to tell y'all the truth, it's not that big of a deal. Now, if he starts stringing along days like this, that's a difference. Then we start getting concerned, but it's one day, y'all. It's one day. So I say all this for this reason. I'm about to tell y'all what happened today, and I'm going to be honest about it. But, man, people on Twitter already trying to kill me. Oh, I listened to TD's stream. He made everything seem like an issue with Tua and not everything with the other quarterbacks. Like I said, man, all I can do is be honest. And I'm going to tell y'all, to sum up Tua's day before I get into the details, it was average at best. Average at best. You know, so, and that ain't terrible. Y'all also have to understand that that ain't the worst that we've seen of Tua at all. It's not even close to the worst. But coming off of the last 2 days that he had, it definitely was a letdown. So remember that we're coming off of those 2 higher days. So that can skew. Like, we coming off of him playing at 7s and 8s, and we get like a 5.5 today, you know? So again, before I even start, I'm trying to tell y'all, this ain't even a moment to say, oh, look at him, he not good. No, that ain't even the case. He just had a struggling day. And the crazy thing is, like, the overall picture of practice, you won't even, it's hard to notice the struggle unless you know what you're looking for. Okay, and I'm about to get into that in details in a moment because I need to say something about the beat writers. Okay, shout out to Justin with the donation. Said, do you think his arm could have been sore from last couple of days? I've said that to a few people. They've yelled at me, it don't matter, it don't matter, you're an NFL quarterback. Yeah, but I mean, guys' arms get sore. I mean, he's 3 or 4 days straight right now and trying to put some heat on that ball. Maybe that could have been it, just trying to, you know, not put too much wear on his arm. He does have a day off tomorrow, so it could be a part of it too. That's what, and I don't want y'all to think I'm making excuses for him, but how are we going to bash somebody just because of one less than stellar day? You know? And I don't want people to sit here. I don't want people to sit here and try to accuse me of that because I'm just telling you what happened at practice today, okay? All right. With that being said, we're about to get started. Y'all hit the like button for me. We got 230 people in here, and only 62 likes. Can we get up to 100 likes, y'all? Can y'all help out, please? Let's get to 100 likes. I'm kind of worn like I was yesterday, man. It takes a lot out of you, man, just talking the whole time while the camp and that heat. And I just got through filleting some red snappers, so, you know, had to do that too, so I can have me some fresh fish for dinner, so that'll be pretty lit. TD, I listened to the whole stream. I heard objectivity and detailed description of what was on the field. You saw both good and bad from Tua. Exactly. Every good throw I was talking about, oh, that was a beautiful one. That was a dark dagger by Tua. I called out both, but people got mad because it was more concern today than great things. You know what I mean? And I'm going to put things into context, by the way, because most of the concern happened in 2 segments of practice where most people don't put much weight into, but I'm going to tell y'all why it's important to pay attention to these portions of practice. But before I get started, I got to talk to y'all about our media first and foremost. I'm at practice just like our media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at practice just like our media, okay? I actually have a better vantage point than them as well because I go all the way to the top at the 50 and I can see everything. Usually they're off in the bottom corner sometimes in a little segment where they barely can see the scope of the whole field. So when you're at the bottom of the stands and you're closer eye level with the players, you tend to not see overthrows like I'm up at the 50 looking at it all, looking at the ball sail 4 feet in front of a guy. But if you're behind the guy, you don't really see that. You just see a miss. I say that to say this because when people start calling me out today saying you are giving a total opposite of what the beat writers are saying, and I'm a clown and all that stuff, but, you know, it's none of my business what other people think about me, so good for them. I went because I don't check the beat writer stuff anymore like that unless I'm not there. And I went to the beat writers, and I realized something. Everything they tweeted was actually about, in my opinion, 80% correct. It actually was. Like, Tua does this, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful pass across the middle. Yeah, that actually was. Tua does that. And the reason why I say 80, and maybe I could say 90, the 10% is a matter of perspective. Like, oh, Tua throws a Hail Mary bomb that goes for, it ends up being a 60-yard touchdown. cooking with his tight end or something like that. But the defense was running some weird, crazy looking defense where they had 4 corners at the first down marker, but the corners never moved. The offensive players just ran right past them. I don't know what that's about, but it's a touchdown. And, so the context of certain things be off sometimes. Just like, let me give you an example. Did y'all see that highlight on Twitter of Xavier Howard breaking up a ball from Waddle? Let me know in the comment section. Did you see the video on Twitter where the context of the video was Xavier Howard basically just can't be stopped or whatever? Even perfect balls, on X is tough. Did y'all see that? Please tell me some of y'all saw it. Okay, so if you saw it, I want you to go back after I tell you what to look for on that play. And this is going to be the perfect context of what actually happened today in practice. We're going to pretty much talk about the underthrown balls today. Nobody talked about the underthrows today, and they were excessive. So when we say Tua didn't have a stellar day, it really had a lot to do with the underthrows and like 3 overthrows. It was like the overthrows were so small, it wasn't even many, so forget those, right? But the underthrows, something concerned me today. And let me give you, so you remember that Xavier Howard play. So this is how camp started, y'all. Tua, first thing they usually do after they stretch, they do drills where they're just throwing to the receivers. Teddy and Tua are side by side. Teddy has that side. Tua has that side. Receivers in a line, all of them about to run routes. 5-yard outs, 5-yard, slants, comeback. They just drills. And you can't judge those. The only thing you want to judge on those are the ball placement, because there's no defender. So you just want to say, hey, nobody's in front of the guy, no defender, your free throws, no pass rush. There's nothing to judge other than ball placement on these. And if the receiver catches it, to make sure the receiver comes down with it. So here I am in a portion of practice that no one really cares about. Ain't no defense or anything. No one cares about this portion of practice. Beat writers aren't writing about this portion of practice. And I'm watching and I'm like, okay, slant across the middle. The receiver has to reach back for it a little. Yesterday, he was putting it right in front of him. That's nitpicky, ain't a big deal, but I'm going to tell you what I see because I'm there live, so I'm reporting. Because ball placement is going to mean everything in this year. So it ain't a big deal. They're completed, right? But, if a DB was close on them, it could be picked or batted down. But reach back, little high, a little errant throws. It wasn't as sharp. The warm-up, remember, warm-up period, right? It wasn't as sharp as usual, right? But it was fine, some nice strikes across the middle in the intermediate. But when they switched to the deep throws, like both of them had like 15 deep throws. Guys, I'm not exaggerating to you. Not one of Tua's deep throws was overthrown, but not one of them was on the money. Every single one of them were underthrown. And what I meant by underthrown, one of them just hit the dirt, didn't have a chance. And the rest of them, they were all complete. But it's like heaving it up. And remember, they're at the 45-yard line, and they're throwing it towards the end zone. And every single time the receivers turned around and waited on the ball or slowed down, start jogging, and got the ball. So this is the early warm-ups. And I said on the stream, I said, it's early warm-ups. It's nothing to be alarmed about, y'all. But it's a little, I'm worried about, maybe he's just going through the motions. He's going through the motions because it's warm up. Let me put him up. And I said all of this on my stream. And I said, but I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if it carries over to the next session because he's not putting enough on none of these balls. None of them are perfect play. I mean, it looked like perfect placement because the guys are slowing or turning around and bam, you know? And I said, I hope his arm ain't worn, but I brushed it off. I said, he just, he taking it easy. He chilling, he just, getting some camaraderie with the guys, whatever, right? So we go over to the net, and I'm with my brother-in-law, by the way, and he was like, yeah, man, Tua's fine, whatever, right? So he's talking to a trainer as he's walking over. He did a lot of talking to trainers today. And again, it could just be me looking more into it because I have no idea what they were talking about. But he took a lot of talking to trainers today, and they did a lot of coaching up on a lot of stuff. You could tell where he missed things, and they would pull him and say, "Go in, Teddy," and the coaches with him, telling him what he missed and what he need to look for. That happened a lot today, and I like it because they're not just letting him do things. Even if they pulling him, like you'll get 4 reps by yourself, they'll pull him after the first one if something didn't go right, and then Teddy get in while they talking to him, and then he'll go in and finish his reps. But it worried me, and then I brushed it off and I moved forward. So then here we go. We have the same segment, but now you got the DBs. So now you have one-on-ones. And I said, ooh, we got one-on-ones. This will really tell me if there's a concern, if something's wrong with him or not. Because I saw him yesterday have no issues, ladies and gentlemen, dropping these passes in teardrops. Beautiful. I don't do this for fun. I don't come and tell y'all he looked great yesterday just to rile you up. He looked really good yesterday. The ball placement was beautiful yesterday. I don't just say these things to try to make people happy. If you've been on this channel long enough, I tell it how it is. It is what it is. So here we are in the one-on-ones. And once again, this ain't the full barrage of the game. But again, all I can judge in this moment is ball placement. Where do you place the ball? Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, no lie, these wide receivers absolutely obliterated and abused these cornerbacks today in the one-on-ones. When I say abused, I am talking about at a 90% rate, the DBs were beat, and not by a foot, not by 2 feet, not by 3 feet. There were some plays they were beat by 7, 8 feet. Like it ain't even a chance. Take me to heaven. When I tell you these DBs were getting obliterated at the line of scrimmage and wide open going down the field, this not an exempt. Ain't nobody was exempt. X all of them. Nobody exempt. They were all getting that business today by these receivers. And Tyreek wasn't even out there. They were getting murdered. And, every play the receiver was wide open for the deep ball. And this is where my concern that wasn't really just playing was actually a concern. It was actually a concern. Because every single throw he made to these wide open receivers by 4, 5, 6 feet, 6 yards at times, going towards the end zone. Tell me why at the end when the ball reached the receiver, the cornerbacks on every single play was right there to try to make a play. If Waddle is on the 10-yard line going in for the touchdown and X is on the 15, when the ball got to Waddle, X was there to make the play. And I'm not exaggerating, every single one of them, the DBs caught up to make a play. Why? Because the ball was underthrown. It was underthrown. Every single one of them. Not a single one where, no, that was out there in front on the money. And we're talking specifically about Tua because Skyler and Teddy didn't have this issue. They didn't have that issue in this segment. They were putting it out in front, guys reaching forward. They didn't have this issue, but Tua, like I'm not talking about 8 out of 10 was underthrown. Not a single one. The DB didn't catch up. Not a single one. Everybody stood on their feet, like ready for the touchdown, and DB caught up. And that happens when you underthrow the ball. And that's when I got concerned. And I made sure when I left practice today, I said, I'm not going to give, remember when I ended the stream, I said, I'm not going to give my take. Let me let it simmer first. And on my way out of the practice field, I talked to about 4 different people. 2 people I didn't know, 2 people I did know. Flipside Fishing, who is in here right now, is one of the people that we know. Well, it was my first time meeting Flipside Fishing in person, but we know him on these streams in the comment section. He said, what's up, TD? I said, who am I speaking to? He said, Flipside. I said, that's what's up. And then we met each other. But the first thing I did before I gave my opinion, I said, Flipside, what was your thoughts about practice today with Tua? Because I want to make sure I'm not, overly being dramatic, beating the kid up. Right out of Flipside, man, he underthrew the ball a lot today. He just was not accurate. And I said, oh, man, I'm just making sure I ain't tripping. And the guy next to him that was with him basically said at first, I said he was being too nitpicky, but yeah, it wasn't the best of days. And whoever the other guy is, I don't even know him. And I asked someone else on the way out, they were like, man, that ball placement got to get better. And it didn't even so much happen all the time in the team work, but it was in the one-on-ones where you just saw it like something was wrong and you didn't know what it was. And Tua kept during practice going to the ground doing these weird stretches and stuff. So I'm not going to speculate if, something's bothering him, but it just wasn't, it wasn't hitting like you like today. So I would just, with Flipside, I was just making sure and those other people that I wasn't tripping. Adam KXNG, welcome to the channel, bro, and welcome to the membership. I appreciate you joining, man. Salute to all the members. And listen, those day streams are brought to you by our members, all right? Come here, Sonny. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Say hi. Your eyes glow up on camera, boy. Hey. It's my homie right here, Sonny. It's my parents' child. But anyway, but yeah, so that whole segment, and I'm telling y'all, go look at the Xavier Howard play. And that was actually wasn't as far as the separation as most of them were. Go on Twitter, Instagram, go look at the Xavier Howard play. And though that will give you an example of what I'm talking about. Waddle burnt Xavier Howard. They just showed the end of it. X had already started catching up. Trust me when I tell you, that should have been a moonwalk touchdown, but Waddle had to slow down and wait, and X was able to come make the play. That wasn't even close to the biggest separation that those guys was getting today. That was just one where I could show y'all what an example of what I'm talking about. But it's funny that the narrative on Twitter and Instagram says, even with the perfect pass, X can't be stopped. That's what the narrative was. But if you go watch it, you tell me if that shouldn't be a walk-in touchdown. Go watch that and you'll understand what I meant by what happened today. Now, Ezukama is my MVP because he had a lot of those short ones from Tua just like that come to him. And he used his body every time to come back or go low or get up in the corner's body and still make the catch. Still make the play. Ezukama turned some of those short passes into completions. That kid straight balled today. That kid straight, man, I feel like he had 3 touchdowns. Like in practice in general, it felt like $150. That kid ate all day. Nothing stopped him. Nothing got it. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Oh, there was another one. Oh, let me tell y'all about this one. Hold on, before I do, Jose with the donation. Jose said, just the bat. Hey man, what's wrong with this thing? Oh, I think I'm on StreamYard, so I'm clicking it to come on the screen, but it doesn't. I'm on YouTube. Just a bad day. Hopefully he picks it up next time. Exactly, man. It ain't that big of a deal to look through. Now, if he keep having these days, that's different. But this all happens. But I got to tell y'all about this one with Eric Ezukama, bro. Listen, this man, right here, I said, man, he my number 3 on the depth chart. I don't care what y'all say about Cedric Wilson. I don't care what y'all say, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I don't care what y'all say. Eric Ezukama, my number 3, a rookie. He my number 3 on the depth chart. I don't care. I don't care. He my number 3. I'm ready. Hey, that kid talented. Let me tell you what he did. So the one-on-ones, right? The corner actually had great coverage on this, right? So, but what happened was, this is what happened in it. He faked outside and swimmed the DB to go inside for the slant, but he faked the slant and then went deep, right? But the receiver, the cornerback was all over it, all draped all over him. The cornerback was stride for stride by 30 yards down the field. Tua chucked it. It's like a 45-yard throw, right? And Eric Ezukama, he recognized, judging the ball, oh, this is another short pass, by the way, another underthrow. Ezukama was running full speed, but in his stride, he never lost stride, but you could see where he kind of slowed up to judge the ball to make sure that he didn't run past a short thrown ball. It was so beautiful how he used the DB's body. He slowed the DB up by getting position in front of him, slowed him up. DB turned his head, because when you slow him up, you think the ball coming. DB turned his head right when he was turning his head. Ezukama gave him that little shoulder bump where it's not pass interference at all. Since they riding on each other, just slow it down. Right at the perfect moment, he and separated. Like he bloop, and it caused the separation, and it made it look like a teardrop. I was like, that kid is special. We need receivers like that in tough times, because even a bad throw looked beautiful. Looked beautiful. Oh my God. And it was a touchdown, by the way. It was a touchdown. He ran it in for the touchdown. His body control going full speed, identified the ball, got in front of the corner, slowed him down, and at the last minute and then to get that separation. Oh my gosh, man, I was a fan. Right there. We had already seen him do some nice stuff. You seen that pass yesterday, dropped in, and Ezukama got it. We already seen some nice things. But what I saw today, and a whole bunch of other stuff, by the way. He did a whole bunch of other stuff. Him and got a great connection too. In the red zone, Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy struck some in the back of the end zone to him and everything. So they were cooking. But that one was that's a big boy NFL move he made, in great coverage, in an underthrown ball, and made it look like it was perfectly in stride. Oh, it was beautiful, man. Cause you sitting there, me and my brother-in-law, we like, oh, he underthrown it. I literally said it on the stream. If y'all go back and watch, I said, ooh, that's gonna be picked. And he made it seem like it was in stride. The defender was bumped out the way a little bit. It was beautiful, man. But Ezukama is my MVP today. I'm telling you, if he ain't got the orange jersey tomorrow, I ain't looking at the orange jersey no more. If he ain't got the orange jersey tomorrow, then y'all, it's some politics in it, okay? That's called stacking the corner. You're correct, G-Firm, but most people don't understand that on the stream, all right? But yes, man, so what else? But back to that segment, every throw was short, but about 3 of them, the receivers still made the play. And some of them were so bad, they were short and inside by 5 feet, where the receiver going down to the ground inside trying to dive for it when they got the separation and already beaten their man. So it was a bad segment. But the reason why I was concerned, because the warm-ups, I saw the arm coming up short, and then in the one-on-ones, it was coming up short. And then I was like, man, this is concerning. Now, here's the deal with practice. You take that, right? You take that, and all of that is like almost half a practice, right? You take that, and you put it over here. Now we're in 11 on 11s, and we're over here. And what did Tua have today in 11 on 11s? See, what happened over here was very poor. It was really bad for him today. But what happened over here was average. Because in 11 on 11s, he made some really nice throws. He missed some huge opportunities. We run the ball. There's sacks. So the overall picture in 11 on 11s was average. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't horrible. You know, he missed some opportunities for touchdowns. And that's all y'all getting on Twitter is what's happening over here. And y'all not getting the full picture of camp. Because let me tell you how I know this. When people were criticizing me saying you're totally different than what the beat writer said, I said, how could people see that today and what practices are they watching? So I went to all the beat writers' timeline and I realized something that I never realized. You can go to every one of their timeline right now. None of them mention more than 7 passes for Tua. Most of them have 6 or 7 tweets about Tua in a pass he made or didn't make because of somebody made a nice. His name is referenced by all of them just from plays like 6 or 7 times. But when I'm live and I'm telling you every play, you hear me say Tua back to pass at least by the end of practice 80 to 100 times. 80 to 100 times. And I'm like, oh, so they're getting all the highlights. And nothing's wrong with that. They're doing what they do. And maybe, you know, that gag order, they got to do the highlights. But they're doing most of the highlights. But they did tell us last week, they only reporting positive plays and not the negative ones. So with that being said, I'm going to sound different than them because I'm giving you the full picture. So let's talk about this side of why it was average. I want to get the good things out the way first because there weren't many, but still going to give them to you. Maybe 3 passes in a day, a guy coming across the middle for 5 yards and he dumped it to him. Got it, right? They didn't even tweet those. But he connected. Little 5-yard passes, right? Few swing routes out in the flat. Connected. Play schemed them up, too. I like some of the play designs. When I get a board and I'm back home in my system, I'll draw some of it up so y'all understand what I'm saying. Welcome to the channel, Kyle. Just became an all-pro member. Salute to you, homie. Tua had some beautiful throws in the intermediate today. I counted like 3 to 4. I don't remember, like I know of 3, but a lot of people reporting 4, but I think one of them is more of a, I'm going to talk to y'all about this defense, this thing they keep doing that's weird as well. We'll talk about it. But he had like 3 really nice intermediate throws. Let me tell y'all about these intermediate throws. If a defender is here and a defender is here, just look at my face. That's the receiver. Tua has been throwing some strikes down the middle. Bam! 15, 20 yards. Bam! Right in the middle. 2 defenders. 5 feet over there, 5 feet over there. 20 yards down the field. They closing. Bam! He gets it in there and they get their guy. Beautiful strikes that he hitting in the zone like that. So when they say Tua with a beautiful strike across the middle to whoever, that's what those are. Where Tua is struggling is there's a defender right here and there's a defender back here. Putting it in there, wide open. Like the defender is 10 feet in front of the receiver and another defender's 20 feet behind him and the receiver wide open in that zone, putting it in there. He had one throw that they pulled him. And you know how I know they pulled him? Because he at least get 3 to 4 reps before Teddy or anybody else get their reps. This was the first rep. Hike the ball. He sees his guy. He bullets it to him. And it's too high. The tight end jumps up and it goes off of his fingertips. He's trying to get up there and it lands way back there, right? And that's an example of what I'm talking about. When Tua has to strike it straight down, money. But when he has to teardrop it over a defender in front of another one, he struggles. And it hasn't stopped, y'all. It continues. Yeah, you can have him. It continues. And that's where one of the areas of concern that we need is the touch on it. He's throwing those like bullets. So put it like this. Say the receiver's at the 30-yard line, right? Waiting on the ball. Say the receiver don't touch it. The ball is going to the 10-yard line. That shows you how much he putting on it versus a teardrop that if the receiver didn't touch it, it'll drop by 5 yards down by the receiver or something. You know what I mean? So the A to B passes, he's hitting it through with an opening, but the over the top passes, that's still a concern, and I've been told y'all about that. All right. So he has some of those, but I looked at Twitter. The tight end drops the ball off of his fingertips on a strike from Tua. No, that's not what happened. And this is the difference from sitting down at the bottom and don't have view versus sitting up at the 50 at the very top where you could actually see it all. That's the difference. Them beat writers need to take their behind at the top of the stands and report from there so they can see the whole field. Because that ain't no dime that tight end dropped. That's a bad throw. Had no touch on it. So he has some nice strikes, but then we miss some. Some of the deep ones over the middle, he had 3 deep balls deep to tight ends over the middle. One of them he missed. He overthrew by 2 feet. The tight end did a good job. It should have been a touchdown. He overthrew it. This was at the beginning of practice too. He overthrew it. Remember, all early in practice, it was underthrowing. Now the 11 on 11s, he had overthrew that one. And that other one I just told you about. And then there was another one he put right on the money by 45 yards down the field. And the tight end just dropped it. Then there was another one he put right on the money and Waddle dropped it. He had another crosser later in like that 17-yard range coming across. Waddle wide open. Wasn't too high, wasn't too low, right on him. Waddle dropped it. I don't know what was wrong with Waddle today. So they didn't help him either in that regard. But there were a lot of throws that he didn't help them. So it was going back and forth. It just was not very great from the offense. And then, let's see, anything else? Today he got a little happy with holding on to the ball. He got a little happy with holding on to the ball. Too many sacks that he actually held on to the ball. And this is the last thing that I'm concerned about with Tua as we go to the red zone with today. Like I thought, and it hurts me to say this, he's still not anticipating like he should. Perfect example. They were running some of the same plays, Teddy Bridgewater and him, in the red zone. It was starting like the 10-yard line. Every single play action play Tua had. The tight end streaked almost across the middle. Like literally, it's almost like wide open. If you hike it, fake the ball, turn around, hit him. Every time Tua hiked it, faked the handoff, turned around, looked like he wanted to hit him, and he's open. Instead of hitting it, held it, ran with him, following him towards, the sideline, waiting to see him come clear. He was already clear. The problem was there was a lot of traffic in front of him, linebackers and all of that. It's not an easy thing to do, honestly. But when Teddy was in, he didn't hesitate. Hike, fake, turn around, strikes, bam, tight end, back of the end zone, touchdown. Very next play, Teddy, opposite side, fake the handoff, turn around, boom, bam, Ezukama, back of the end zone. And they put Tua right back in after that, where they ran it one, and I think Gaskins or Ahmed got a touchdown with Teddy. Then they put Tua back in, ran him again. Sure enough, Hype hesitated, running for his life with the receiver, threw it. Almost two defenders got their hands on it, almost picked. They really screwed each other up. Next play, this was a schemed up play. He threw a dime to Waddle. It was a 4-yard pass for a touchdown, but it went like 8 yards because he behind the line of scrimmage. So a running back went in the flat, and Waddle went in that area and turned around. So a linebacker's out there with 2 guys. Do I take the flat? Do I get Waddle? And it just froze the linebacker into a zip. Like this, almost like he would have killed me. The ball went so fast and hard, and Waddle, boom, touchdown. He hit him. It was like, it was almost like, oh, I'm not going to screw this up. Let me get this in there. And that ball bulleted hard. Bam, Waddle, touchdown. And that was the only score they had in the red zone. Teddy and his offense with about 12 red zone plays, they got like 6 to 7 scores. I know like 4 throwing and 2 running. Tua's unit got 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 running, and that one to Waddle throwing. All the rest of them, incomplete. Waddle fell down on one where he faked in and went out. Terminology for that too, but people wouldn't understand if I tell you the route there. You go in and then you go back out. But we just couldn't execute this time in the red zone. But Tua's one of the better quarterbacks in the red zone typically. He's a good quarterback in the red zone. We usually have a high efficiency. But today, red zone work was real poor. Just couldn't get it in. Said donation TD. I see it. Kyle said, I just got in. How did Tua do overall? Average at best. Average at best. Again, it ain't a big deal. Quarterbacks have these days. Yes, it's a zig route. Quarterbacks have these days. So it is what it is. They have these days, but overall, that was Tua's performance today. That was his day. And like I said, there was some really good throws mixed in. But when you understand what was happening, like between a sack, between a no-gain run, and between an overthrow or underthrow, and an underthrow that might have still been caught, there was one amazing pass. So, again, that's what it was for him today. So we look for him on Friday to pick it up and turn that around. I don't know what was going. I don't know if there could be a little health concern with fatigue or whatever it may be, but it was unbecoming of him based off of what I saw yesterday. And when I tell you it was night and day, his good passes were beautiful, but trust me when I tell you it was night and day from yesterday. It wasn't like he was hitting things at a high clip like crazy throws yesterday. So that's why. So it's just my thought. So that's it on Tua. But I got to quickly, Teddy Bridgewater, he had a better day today, especially from yesterday because he was trash yesterday. I told y'all that too. I'm honest about all of them. He was trash yesterday. Didn't even look like he was frazzled the whole time. Today he had a much better day, made a lot of good throws. Didn't have as many errant throws. One he put out there, but it was just good defense. And I ain't got much detail for you for Teddy, but I will tell you his overall was like a 6.5 today. Because if I put Tua around a 5.5, his overall was like 6.5. But it means nothing because in order for him to be looked at as a guy that maybe need a shot to be our guy, he need to be putting up 8s. And he ain't nowhere near that. So Tua overall in the last 2 days of me being at camp, I had to give him a grade of about 6.5. Like I said, I gave him a 7.5 yesterday. Today a 5.5, so I put him around a 6.5. And we're going to need him to be a 7 this year on the field. And that's still going to come with bad days like today. But overall play, he going to need to be a 7 at a minimum this season with his overall play at a minimum. Okay? Now, I know I'm hyping up Ezukama. But I got to take some time to hype this kid up, this other kid. Y'all listen to me, and this is not an overreaction. This is just giving props where props are due. And we need to honestly be respectful of this kid and watch his development. But he's talented. And he has the best arm on the team. Skyler Thompson is impressing every single day. I'm telling you. Now, you have some errant things like he'll throw a pass on a deep ball that ain't nowhere near. Like the guys are on the hash running and he just throw it deep middle, like on the ground. Where was that just a throwaway or were you just that far off? And his accuracy makes you think that was just a throwaway by him. You know, like sometimes, you know, it's like he'll do something where, and also just like Tua though, snapping the ball, play action, turning around, hit him, Skyler, hit him. Oh, you missed your opportunity. He got that issue too. But his arm, let me start with his arm. He got the best arm in camp. I don't care. You can say what you want. You can lie. You can get mad. The kid has the best arm in camp. When he wants to get something from A to B intentional, it is a dart. When he throwing them deep balls, he is on the money typically. But is he, I think his area of opportunity, if I'm going to break his down, like if they were saying, oh, Skyler's fighting to be QB1. If that was the case, I would be like looking at his game like this is what I would be saying about his game. He looks really nice, but his basically sometimes he misses his windows. Like like I see hints of slow blinker, but then you see it's like he has like symptoms of slow blinking sometimes, just like they say with Tua. Like get it in there. And the scary thing is he has the arm strength, so why don't you go? But when he knows where the guy is and he knows where he going, he gonna put it there. And as a backup quarterback, drafted where he was drafted as a project and a rookie, his starting point is as good, better than some of these struggling rookies from last season. His starting point is better than some of those guys. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, he looks like a rookie at times. But when he makes a play, it is impressive. It is. And we got one in this one. Them late round picks this year might be a part of our future in a major way. Ezukama and Skyler. And I don't care if that means Skyler is our official backup every year. But we got one who I believe, if you can run the ball and protect, can win games. I feel like he can end up being a better version of Matt Moore. Guys like that. And in the comment section, nobody answered this but the people who went to camp today. If you went to camp today, say me in the comment section. Just the people that went to camp, say me. I want to see how many we got in here. Flipside Fishing in here. I know you was there. Flipside said me. Bishop said me. So Flipside and Bishop, the only two that was at camp today. Ben was there. So I just want to get y'all three feedback. Because, you know, I talked to Flipside already. So I don't want people to think I'm skewing stuff. But Bishop and Ben, my assessment so far, Skyler, Ezukama, Tua, am I a little off or am I spot on or am I just way off? I just like to get a gauge, make sure from the people who were there what their thoughts are. Dolphin Z, tell me as well. Dolphin Z say he went, so tell me. Y'all four guys, y'all talk to the people and tell them if I'm off, if this is what y'all saw, if I'm just, you know, I like to get calibration. I like calibration. That way, you know, Flipside said you saw what I saw. I detect no lies. I want to hear from some of the other guys too. Ben, where you at? I ain't gonna, but Skyler looked kind of nice. Where's Ben? Where y'all guys went? Trying to get y'all tape. Bishop said agreed, TD. What about Ben? Where you at, Ben? If you're still in here, let me know, Ben. Am I tripping? Ben said Skyler looks like a very good backup. For many years, his arm looks more developed than others. I agree. Ben said he here. Ben, I asked, is my evaluation of all the practice with Ezukama, Tua, and Skyler and all that, am I on the money or am I a little off, or did you see it a different way? You're the last one I think was at camp today that's in this chat right now. So tell me your thoughts. I just want to make sure I ain't just being that guy that's just trying to make stuff up. I like to hear from y'all and calibrate myself sometimes. So Ben, you're the last one. I just want to get your take. Let me know what you think, man. Y'all hit the like button, please. We got over 500 people in the building. 546 and only 233 likes. I appreciate those who donated. Thank y'all for the donations, and those who joined the channel through membership. Salute to you and welcome to the family. Ben said, I think Tua will have bad days, but overall, I think your take is pretty spot on. Yeah, okay. So basically, man, y'all got 4 other guys in the comment section right now that were there today. This isn't just a case of me. I'm just giving y'all the honest of what pretty happened. Dolphin Z said pretty on. Okay, Dolphin Z was there too. I remember that. My bad. So 5 of y'all. So I appreciate y'all letting the people know what y'all thought about today as well, man. I want to make sure I love calibrating because I want to give y'all the truth. But so now I'm not really mad at the beat writers because at the end of the day, y'all, they're literally reporting like 7 plays for Tua a day, when the man has like 60 to 100 or something like that plays. That's why if you want to really hear a play-by-play of what's happening in camp, I'm live and I'm giving you feedback on the phone, all right? All right, let's move forward real quick to DBs got toasted most of the day today. What's our draft pick name? Our first draft pick this year, our linebacker, Tyndall. Tyndall is good in pass coverage, y'all. Tyndall went stride for stride with Ezukama one time on a deep ball and broke it up at the end. And it was a great ball placement, by the way. It was just a great play by Tyndall on defense. Tyndall stride for stride, but secondary kind of got toasted today, in my opinion. They made some stops, too, because a lot of times we went back to pass, nothing was open, and Tua held on to the ball too long. Like, Tua would avoid a sack, but then still hold on too long and get sacked anyway. Secondary in and out of today. Linebackers, not as impressive as yesterday stopping the run. Even though the run was shut down today almost as well. We probably had like 2 decent runs. In the red zone, the run game was fine. But in the open field, maybe 1 or 2 decent runs best out of 25 of them. Like, the run game still can't do nothing. The O-line played better than yesterday. They were 2 times better than yesterday. So that was still not good. O-line still wasn't good. Ain't no sugarcoating it, but it was still better than yesterday because yesterday was abysmal. Okay? What else? Waddle wasn't himself today. That was somebody else dressed up in a number 17 jersey. Because he dropped too many balls. I'm talking about wide open, too. Anyone getting physical? Christian Wilkins very physical out there. Running backs coming through the hole. He ain't killing them, but he, bam, like, oh, you going to feel me. Don't think that you would have broke this. Because, the running backs be showboating. What happened is, when they come through the hole, the defender just nudge them, but the running back keep their full speed, and they getting through and all that, and they look like every play is a touchdown. But the truth is, it would have been a 2-yard gain. But they're not tackling you to the ground. They're just, So, Christian makes sure every time somebody come through, you would have been tackled or whatever. Y'all ask questions because I don't know what else to tell y'all about camp today. I don't know what element I missed that y'all want to know about. So I'm going to open it up for about 5 minutes, answer y'all questions before I get out of here and have dinner with the family. Who been our leader on offense? Tyreek has. But Tua is doing a better job at the line of scrimmage. Today, I didn't see what I saw yesterday with the audibles and the checks and all of that. Not sure why, but maybe it was just because of what they were running. Run game was bad. Who's wearing the orange jersey tomorrow? I don't know, but it should be Ezukama. It should be Ezukama. I'm telling y'all, if it's not, then I just, listen, man, I don't know what the criteria is. Ball game said the run game is going to be a long work in progress. That's what I'm scared of in the first 5 games. The running game being a long work in progress. That's what I'm scared of in the first 5 games, because we need to be on the positive side of 500, at least 3-2 in the first 5. Anything under that brings concern immediately. Is there practice tomorrow? Not that I know of. If they do, it's a shocker, but not that I know of. But Friday there's practice. Saturday there's practice. Sunday there's practice. I'm sure there's no practice Monday because they got to travel to Tampa. Tuesday they may not even have practice, but Wednesday and Thursday I think they practice against Tampa. So Monday they travel. Tuesday Monday they probably got a day off. Tuesday they probably travel and do their individual walkthroughs maybe in Tampa. And then Wednesday they actually scrimmage with Tampa Wednesday and Thursday. And I should be there barring any emergency or something. How did Trill look? For 2 days I ain't seen Trill on the field. But and let me say this. I haven't been looking for him. So if he's been on the field the last 2 days, that means he's just been that good. If he's been on the field the last 2 days, he's just been that good, because I ain't call his name once. I'll try to look out for him extra on Friday. Any interceptions today? 6 drop picks today. If you want to count the one-on-ones. If you don't want to count the one-on-ones, I'd say about 3. Javon Holland, let me make sure I ain't mixing days. Javon Holland had a, was that today or yesterday? Did I mention Javon Holland almost picked off Tua, but Lynn Bowden jarred it out on the right sideline? Did I mention that today? Y'all let me know. Or the people who were there today, am I mixing days? Something tell me that was today. Tua just threw it up, and I don't know why. Holland was in great position. That was today. Okay, I'm just making sure I ain't mixing days, because there was a play like that yesterday too that Holland missed the pick, but I wanted to make sure I wouldn't duplicate and being mean. That was today. I knew it was today. So Tua hiked the ball. He looked right. It was zone. So the defender dropped off of Bowden. So Tua just saw a wide open Bowden. Never even looked at the safety. Hiked, looked right. The defender, Bowden ran past the defender, and Tua thought he had a wide open touchdown, and Holland just came over. It was so easy of a pick. He jumped in the air like a hug on the ball. But when he got it, Lynn Bowden came and knocked it out, and it was incomplete. And Holland was mad that he didn't get the pick. So that was one. Another almost pick outside of the one-on-ones, because like 4 of them almost got picked in the one-on-ones. That's because they were all underthrown. But the one in the back of the end zone in the red zone work, Tua, where he should have hit the guy right away, but then he ran with the receiver going to the side. He threw it late, and 2 defenders got to it and batted it. Basically, if one of them was there, they would have tried to get the pick, but they looked at each other and they messed each other's pick up. Basically, 2 defenders were making a play on the ball, and the receiver was behind them. So they screwed their own opportunity up by not thinking that it was a receiver, but it was 2 defenders. So those were 2 almost picks. Skyler Thompson, I didn't see any picks thrown, like almost picks thrown. Maybe 1 deep. maybe one deep that almost got picked. Or that might have been the one where Tyndall was stride for stride. So it wouldn't pick, he just batted it out with great defense. Teddy, no interceptions and no almost interceptions that I can remember. Let me see. I'm trying to think back on some. No, none today by Teddy either. Yeah, so has Skyler been using his legs? Not today, but yesterday he was impressive, getting out of a lot of trouble. Someone needs to put batteries in that smoke detector. Yeah, I just heard that start going off. It'll be taken care of. TD, after watching a couple of days of practice, has your record prediction changed? First of all, do you know my record prediction? Put it in the comment section. What was my record prediction, not y'all's? I want to see if y'all even know what my record prediction was. Put it in the comment section if you even know what I've told y'all what my record prediction was, but it's an early record prediction. I'm going to wait till after training camp to give you my real, more how I feel based off of what I see at camp today. Michael Johnson got it right. It was 9-8 was my record prediction. The reason why I had us have us 9-8 because new offense. Tua still got to prove it. We still can't run the ball. O-line still ain't looking great. And our competition is greater than it was last year. So I said 9-8. And after training camp, when I see the rest of these practices, when I see the Bucs practices and the rest of training camp is over, before the season, it may change by a game or two, or maybe even 3. Up or down. But I'll give you my realistic prediction, or stay the same, I don't know, at the end of camp. Right when camp is over and we got our 53-man roster and they're going to vote captains, I'll start doing the videos on my record prediction and why. But my early record prediction, 9-8. Until we prove something. Now, as a fan, 11 wins minimum with this talent. But until we prove something, right now, 9-8. Our schedule is 3 times harder than it was last year, in my opinion. And your early games where you start out as the gauntlet. Ball Game said they'll win at least 2 more than last season. All right. That's what the hope is. 11 should just get you in. And the reason why, because those other teams will beat each other up. So 11 will get you in as a wild card. So 2 more will be amazing. 2 more will be amazing than last year. But we'll see. We won last year with a weak schedule. And this year we got a tough schedule. So 2 more, let's do it. Any win over what we did last year is all going to be predicated off of Tua's growth and the weapons productivity around him. So we'll see, man. Again, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to TD FANSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Thank y'all for listening to my live coverages and giving me feedback on it. I will continue to provide great coverage for you all. Tomorrow, I think they're off unless we're shocked and they just have a closed practice. And I'll be back to y'all on Friday, man, giving y'all this great content best I can. I'm going to have streams between now and then about other things, but just about practice, TD a bit pessimistic, but I get it. Is that pessimistic? I mean, I'm pessimistic is if I think, for me, I feel like I'm being pessimistic if I said 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 games or none. I just feel like this team right now, based off the competition, is a 9-win team because it's the first year of a new install and everything. And I'm optimistic if I'm more than 9. I think 9 is right where, look at everybody else. 6, 7, the national media. I'm talking about 9, at least it's a winning record. And I'm pessimistic. I'm curious. Then what's if I'm pessimistic, then what's regular? What's if pessimistic is over here and optimistic is over here? What's right in the middle? What's the fair number? What's the fair number? Because if I said 10, they think pessimistic too, I guess. Can't win, TD. I can't, man. I just try to be honest, man. I'm not pessimistic, optimistic. I'm not positive nor negative. I'm just truth. I'm just truth. Man, you the man, TD. Don't listen to the haters, man. They ain't haters. It's just their opinion at the moment, man. My prediction is 9-8 as well. But listen, we need a 10 or 11. I mean, no, we don't need no 10. We need 11, though. We need it. For this thing to say that it's on, like, y'all got to understand, if we win 9 games, how much better can this team get? We got to hope for a better schedule? Man. You're on point, TD. Anyway, man, I'm finna get up out of here. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. Give me some rest. If I got time, I'll try to go live tonight. I'm gonna go holler at the homie CB83